Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 10, and it is time for some more questing here. So we're going to go through and continue with the Forest Mastery quest. That's why we're over here with Peregrine Wayfinder. Now for those of you who don't know, we're actually pretty close to the end of the Forest Mastery quest. We are going to go through and want to do one of the last, or a couple of the last adventures here in the Forest Mastery quest. So just a quick recap, we have gone through and been chasing death ambers around through the forest worlds. They seem to be quite powerful items, and we have been warned multiple times not to chase after them, but we've been doing it anyway, and it has caused a couple of the explorers that we've been working with to be turned into raw bones. And at the end of the last episode, Agnes Black, who was our kind of mentor after Peregrine Wayfinder, got turned into a raw bone, and unfortunately we had to kill her just for everybody else's safety. So now we're going to go talk to Peregrine and see what he has to say about all of this. Kras has cornered himself in a dungeon. They are intimidating places, but you must take heart. Your ordeal is nearly over. Let's finish this. So Kras seems to be a very giant rawbone who's behind some of these things that have been going on. He seems to be at least chasing the death ambers and wanting to use them for his own ends, which is really no good. We do not want him getting hold of the death ambers, because these things, as I said before, seem quite powerful. So let us go and chase Kras into wherever it is that he is hiding. Here we go! Okay, so there's no way out for Kras this time. This is our moment, and it is our time to destroy him and receive that final death amber. And here we go, we're in a dungeon. Of course, this is the one and only time we actually get to run a dungeon completely on our own, which is really cool. I actually, I quite like this a lot, because dungeons are just awesome things. I mean, check this thing out. The doors and everything just make dungeons an amazing place. Now, usually when I run dungeons, especially when I'm running dungeons for time, I don't worry about killing all of the little, like, underlings and things that sit around the bottom here, but this time, I think we might just do that. We'll take on a fair number of these guys anyway. And, ooh, interesting. You can get forest recipes in the side chest to dungeons now, or maybe you can only do that in this adventure. I don't actually know. We'll have to go out and do a dungeon next week with a few of my guildmates and see what we can find in and around the place. That is going to be quite cool. Hopefully we can get recipes from doing dungeons, because that's going to make doing dungeons even better for just getting different rewards and bits and pieces that you can use. So, wow, there's going to be a lot of underlings through here. I had forgotten quite how many get spawned, but we've got a power attack saved up, so that should do with the champion. Bam! Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's just double check. Yeah, it looks like there's a recipe amber in every single one of the little chests, and there's actually quite a few of those going through here. That's quite cool. Either that or I've just got really lucky so far. One of those is definitely true somewhere along the line. Okay, whoop, there's an archer up there. I want to charge my charge attack up, because once you've got the charge attack charging, you're going to be able to release it even if you get hit. But doesn't matter, because he didn't hit us anyway. Ha ha. Okay. And oh, that's a problem. I completely forgot to bring blocks into this place. So I'm going to mine up all of the blocks that are around here. And we'll have a look at what is up there. Although that looks like spring traps. Okay, so we've collected up a few blocks, which is good because we're about to go through the trials apparently. And that does not sound like something we want to be doing without some blocks in hand. Oh yeah, definitely not. But thankfully this kind of little section was already built up for us. Very nice. That's very considerate. Makes that a lot easier to go through and do. Check this out. Just a little bridge across there. Bridge across there. Door open. Job done. Just like that. And then we've got a little pathway that we need to make. So hopefully we can just like bam, 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 bam. Oh. That's a lot of dot turrets. Whew, okay, good. So, with the liberal application of blocks around the place, this is not too bad. Although, of course, if I was doing this dungeon for time, this would be very slow. But that's okay. Doesn't really matter too much. Make because of course we're not doing this for time. So there's crumbling blocks. I think we're just going to run because we don't have to worry about other people coming up behind us. So we're just going to kind of do this a little selfishly, a little bit different to what I would normally do a dungeon. But of course this is just a regular dungeon, or at least it's more a regular dungeon now than it ever was before. It's kind of cool. And wow, we have a whole load of dart turrets over there. Hopefully, it looks like there might be a gap down through the middle that we can just... Yeah, check that out. Oh, that was pretty awesome. We've actually managed to get through that relatively unscathed. Now it looks like we've got a lot of fighting ahead of us, so I'm going to do all of that off camera, just so you guys don't have to watch through that, and we'll see what is up next in this dungeon. So the map seems to be showing a big pool of water just around this corner, so we're going to quickly grab this emergency supplies chest, which is full of bombs. Nice. Okay, well we're going to stick some bombs on the hotbar for sure, and wade our way into the pillars room. Check this place out. This is so cool. It's like trying to half fight and half just like enjoy the scenery. This thing is just really, really cool. Check it out. That is going to be a hard thing to get to the top of, I would imagine. Wow. That guy was very annoying. I really, really don't like the shields. They are a pain. But thankfully, he opened himself up to attack. And when he did so, gave us a really good attack, which somehow managed to mean that we did more damage. Which is very nice indeed. Very nice of him. Oh, there's a chest over here too. We'll definitely grab hold of that. So it looks like not every chest in the dungeon is giving off the ambers. It's only some of them, because I've opened a couple of different small chests, and I've opened that one down there, and obviously only got the 2 ambers. So I don't know what the go is with all of that. Something kind of weird is happening. But now we need to make our way up, so I think I'm just going to jump up to the top of one of these pillars and nerd pole my way up. It's probably going to be the quickest and easiest and safest option for today. And we made it to the top only to be faced down by even more enemies. So there you go. This is pretty much the way this goes. Really, it's just enemies on enemies on enemies. And now we've got a shield guy in front of us. Okay, so it looks like the challenge here was just finding a way up, which I've just kind of like staircased and then nerd-poled. So we'll push on through the dungeon, keep going. There's obviously just going to be some guys and then more corridor until the next interesting thing. So let's go check out the next interesting thing. So we're in trouble now. We've actually run into something a lot bigger than the other kind of tiny little things that are around the place. And this is not good. And he's got a shield, which I really don't like at all. That's just not fun, buddy. Oh wow, I somehow managed to do my power attack without actually meaning to, which is good because this guy, whoa. Oh, okay, he actually went down a little bit easier than I thought he was going to. That was kind of scary there for a second. And there you go, that is where we saw the big guy. We've stumbled upon another room, and this place is really, really cool. This is called Throne, so I'm assuming that's supposed to be a very, very giant throne, and that is huge and impressive, and I really like that a lot. Take a quick screenshot of that one and move on through. Yeah, there you go, there's another really big guy. I kind of want to go axe to axe with him, but I know that going with the sword is going to be the better way here. Here we go, and power attack to finish him off. Bam! That's right. So, yes, when you're going up against a big heavy weapon like that, always better to kind of shift dodge around the outside, or double tap dodge, I guess it is these days. Double tap dodge around the outside and use a smaller weapon that does a lot of damage very quickly, which is what these swords do. The sword's actually probably one of the best optimized weapons in the game for killing things. It kind of keeps switching back and forth between swords and daggers at the moment, I think. So, yeah, swords are definitely the best thing you can currently use against things in the game. But now we've kind of completed that, we're going to keep pushing through. I don't think there's much else left in this dungeon, to be perfectly honest. I think the next thing that we're going to come up against is the end chamber and Kras. But I could be mistaken. It's been a little while since I've run a dungeon, And they do keep changing these things, so I don't actually know. Anyway, let's see what is up next. So we've made it to another door, and here we go. This is actually the final chamber, because it has just updated the quest to defeat Kras. So let's see, we're going to have a quick little rest at the campfire, so every time we die we come back to here. And let us see the horror that lies beyond this door. Okay, you know, that is not too bad. There's a couple of big guys. I don't see Kras. Kras would be through the final doors up there. Okay. That's going to be a little bit more annoying. Because it means that there's a chance, just a small one, that the things in this room will respawn when we die facing Kras. If we die facing Kras. Hopefully, of course, we don't. Let's see. There we go. So, just once again, taking out the big guys with the quick, easy little stuff, and taking out the shield guys with the kicks, because that is the way to do things. I'm going to take out this archer with his charge attack, just because he's been annoying me over there. Bam! That was ridiculous overkill, but it's kind of fun. Like I said, he was annoying me, standing up there, taking pot shots. Just not cool, bro. Not cool. Okay, so I don't actually need blocks. I'm going to go straight on through into the Kras fight. Wow, this chamber is awesome. This chamber is like super cool, but what I'm not seeing so far is any mobs in this chamber. Like, there's just... there we go. There's Kras. Oh, check out his hammer. Check out that warhammer. That thing is awesome. Can I have that? Can I have that when I kill him? Check it out! How cool is that thing? That is ridiculously awesome. Also, he seems to not be able to do damage to me right now, so we're just gonna like stand up here and take some pot shots. Because we can. Kras the Unshackled, huh? Right, well this fight has turned out to be a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Because now, we should be able to... Bam! That's right, Kras. Yeah, take that. And I don't get his giant awesome weapon, but I do get to answer the fire hailer. So let's do that. Agnes and her team are gone. I will carry the weight of that with me forever. I'm just grateful you were able to stop Kras before his destructive madness swallowed everything we hold dear. You have my gratitude. Bring the final death amber back to Tao Ying here in the city. It is finally over. Well, not quite over, because of course we have to still make it back to the city, and there is a chest behind this wall, so it's never over until you've looted all the chests you can possibly get your hands on. And we did actually get a mace from that, but it seems as though, yeah, it's just a fabled warhammer. It's not actually Kras's mace, which is a little unfortunate. That mace was really, really cool looking. Hopefully it's actually a mythic weapon that we can get our hands on. Also, let's take a look at the Whispering Death Amber. It constantly whispers to you, but in no language you've ever heard. Something sparkles darkly in the very center, but you can't quite make it out. Ooh. Sounds very ghost-like and cool. I love these things. The Death Ambers are very, very awesome. I mean, I've been telling Peregrine that we shouldn't be collecting them the whole way through, but they are very, very cool. I mean, you have to admit, these things are pretty awesome indeed. So, there we go. That is, as far as I know, that is now the Forest Mastery quest over. We have to go back and deliver that Death Amber, but that should be then the end of the Forest Mastery quest chain, which is kind of cool. I love this quest chain. It is a really, really good way of kind of setting up all of the rest of the quest chains and all of that other good stuff. So anyway, let's head back over to the City of First Light and give in this final Death Amber to Tao Ying. Delivery time. Here you go, Tao Ying. We have a Death Amber for you. Deliver the final Death Amber to Tao Ying in the City of Last Light. Oh, and we get the Epic Warhammer and the Epic Medium Helmet from doing this. Here we go. That is pretty cool indeed. These Death Amber are extraordinary. I've never seen anything so beautiful. They existed long before the Shattering, and oh yes. And yes, of course, what was happened was very regrettable. Perhaps it will help you grieve if I tell you how... I worked out how to open them. Here, the contents is all yours. I must Daddy brought remains of the shell. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to collect all of the death ambers and crack them open? Okay, I thought we had death ambers we could crack open. Maybe I need to collect them from the mail or something. Also, I'm going to try and avoid moving around too much in the city because the city lags me out and causes the recording to do funny things. So let us... I'm going to take... I can't take all of them. Okay. That's why we can't do that. Alright, I'm going to free up some space in my inventory, and then we're going to crack open these death ambers on camera and see what is inside. Okay, so let's crack open these ambers. I have cleaned out my inventory just a little bit, got rid of all of the fractured things that I picked up in the last adventure. I think we might start with the epic forest gear and see what's in this guy first. Oh, we got another sword. Nice. Okay, that's going to make life a little easier. We can start dual-wielding swords. And it looks like we're getting bombs from this guy. So we've got mythic bombs from... I think that was the chili one. Okay, there's a couple of different death ambers here. So, looks like the Whispering Death Amber gives off the Mythic Forest Light Hood. That's pretty cool. Hopefully we're getting a lot of light gear out of this, because if we do... okay. The Chili Death Amber gives us the Death Slayer medal. Nice. I've seen people wandering around with that. So there you go. That is how you get the Death Amber medal. You actually receive it from the actual ambers themselves. Then we get some dungeon keys, which is cool, because that is going to be the next thing we want to do. Go into some dungeons. And then finally, the Sinister Death Amber gives us the Epic Forest Boots medium recipe, which that's a waste because we literally just got that and learnt that recipe. Oh well, these things do happen. So I'm just going to crack open these last couple of ambers here and head over to Peregrine to wrap up the Forest Mastery and get ourselves ready for the dungeons that we're going to be doing in next week's episode. Peregrine, let us put a nice little bow on the Forest Mastery quest. So I knew Agnes well, Drac. She would be proud of you. Not that she would have admitted it in public. Well, she doesn't ever seem like the type. You've shown us all what a true explorer should be. Resourceful, noble, and utterly fearless. Yeah, you might want to kick that Barnaby guy out of the explorers if that's the case. Braving a dungeon alone to boot. Extraordinary. Kerrigan, our resident dungeon expert, will definitely want to talk to you. I know how he looks, but don't worry, you can trust him. Well, I mean, we have just spent a long time being told not to trust Rawbones and that Rawbones are kind of a weird thing, and now we're going to go talk to a Rawbone. That's cool, because I like Kerrigan. Kerrigan is really, really cool. You think you have seen danger, yes? You think yourself immortal. Your eyes are blind to the truth. There is a place of absolute darkness, of true oblivion. To show true mastery over yourself and your fate, you must enter the forest dungeon. Dun dun dun! Got it! I'm just gonna round up some people, and like I said, we will do this in next week's episode. So I think we now need to complete a couple of Kerrigan quests, get all of that type of stuff done, and then we will be good to go in regards to finishing off these quests or entering the dungeon is what we're going to be doing next. So I'm just going to quickly submit that. I didn't realize I had a quest left over. So I think that's going to be it for today's episode. We're going to end on a high note, having finished the Forest Mastery quest chain. And I will talk to some people and get some guildmates together, and we will run a forest dungeon in the very next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one, and I will see you then.